here, and welcome to the start of my Summerween vlog. I think this is my second year in a row fully participating. I think before I maybe just read in general a spooky book during the week, but the last 2 years I've tried to follow the prompts. I'll put up the prompts on the screen. The first prompt is read a book in the dark or at night. The second one is read a horror or thriller book. Third is read a book with a sky on the cover. 4 is read a book you've owned for more than a year. And 5 is read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. And here is my TBR. I've picked 3 books, and they fit almost all the prompts. The only one that I don't have covered is Sky on the cover. The first book is Nothing But the Rain by Naomi Solomon. The rain in Eloisville is never ending, and no one can remember when it started. There's not much they can remember. With every drop that hits their skin, a bit of memory is washed away. Stay too long in the wet and you'll lose everything you used to be. By the time Laverne begins keeping a journal, the small town she calls home has been irreparably changed. Every drop of water is dangerous, from leaky faucets to the near constant rainfall, and a careless trip outside can mean a life down the drain. With mysterious forces preventing escape, calls for rebellion seem to be on every resident's lips, but Laverne has no interest in fighting. She has no interest in rebellion. She just wants to survive. The next book is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. You won't find a more hardcore 80s slasher film fan than high school senior Jade Daniels. And you won't find a place less supportive of girls who wear torn t-shirts and too much eyeliner than Proof Rock, nestled 8,000 feet up a mountain in Idaho alongside Indian Lake, home to both Camp Blood, site of a massacre 50 years ago, and, as of this summer, Terra Nova, a second home celebrity Camelot being carved out of a national forest. That's not the only thing that's getting carved up, though. This, Jade knows, is the start of a slasher. But what kind? Who's wearing the mask? Jade's got an encyclopedic recall of every horror movie on the shelf, but will that help her survive? Can she get a final girl trained enough to stop all this from happening? Does she even want to? Isn't a slasher exactly what her hometown deserves? In the last book, Into the Drowning Deep, 7 years ago, the Attergatta set off on a voyage to the Mariana Trench to film a mockumentary bringing to life ancient sea creatures of legend. It was lost at sea with all hands. Some have called it a hoax, others have called it a tragedy. Now a new crew has been assembled, but this time they're not out to entertain. Some seek to validate their life's work. Some seek the greatest hunt of all. Some seek the truth. But for the ambitious young scientist Victoria Stewart, this is a voyage to uncover the fate of the sister she lost. Whatever the truth may be, it will only be found below the waves. Hopefully I'll be able to get to all 3 of these. 2 of the 3 are pretty chunky, but I do have one of them on audiobook. If not, either way, I'll have some spooky plans throughout the week. So stick around and let's get spooky together. Happy first day of Summerween! I am in my favorite reading spot, in bed. And I am about to read Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, which apparently also is Sean McGuire, which I literally just found out checking this book out from the library. It had a little paragraph that said it, so haha on me for not realizing that they had a pen name. But yeah, so I'm gonna start this chonker. This should be for the prompt of read a horror, and with how long it is, I will probably be reading part of it at night. So yeah, let's get to it. It's a big snuggle puddle in bed. So far, I am almost 100 pages in, and we are following Tori. Tori's sister Anne disappeared on a voyage to the Mariana Trench looking for mermaids. And this voyage, all the crew, everyone on board disappeared, and there was leaked footage of people being pretty much massacred by these mermaids. And the public was like, oh, it's a hoax. That's not real. And now I think it's about 7 years after, and they're setting up for another voyage. Tori got invited because of her marine science-y stuff that she's been doing. And so you kind of get the backdrop of her, the backdrop of her relationship with her 2 parents, and her lab partner. And that's kind of the main little group of people that we've met. And there's also another group of a mermaidologist. I don't remember what they say in the book, but she's a teacher and her focus is mermaids. And she was the original person who gave the information to the corporation on where these mermaids could be. But she didn't go on that first voyage. And so we get her kind of background with her husband and the daughter and kind of like that dynamic and kind of her guilt about what happened on the first expedition. And now at page 94, we're just getting on the boat. Both Tori and Lewis, her lab partner, have just gotten on the boat, and the professor just got on the boat. We're kind of getting lay of the land, lay of the boat. So nothing really intense or spooky has happened. There's just the one scene that we got of that leaked footage. And the rest has been kind of slow going. It's just been like laying down the foundation. Nothing exciting's happening. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it is like you're very conscious of reading. And I'm just like hoping that it gets more exciting quicker than I'm thinking it will. Because this is a chunky book. That's how far I am. And so I hope that maybe in another 50, 100 pages, like it'll ramp up into that kind of horror suspense and will really like drag out throughout the end of the book. But for day 1, I got almost 100 pages read. It's pretty good. Welcome to day 2 of Summerween. I just finished having coffee, slowly waking up, and now we're making ciabatta rolls. Today I've decided to do a ScoobyDoo 2002 movie. Last Summerween, me and my wife went to Goodwill hunting for this movie, and we actually found it the day of at a thrift store. So we are, I guess, keeping up with tradition. We're gonna watch it again today, but we're gonna do a little party. So we're gonna make Shaggy Scooby sandwiches, the ultimate sandwich. We're gonna make a fancy sandwich. We have some fancy drinks in the color of Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo colors. And we have Scooby snacks we found. So this is the prep. I don't make bread. I do not know how to make bread, but the dough looks promising. So I'm gonna try to bake these, and for dinner, we're gonna have little Sammys.
Hi, I am going to be making a Scooby snack shot for our Scooby-Doo themed party. Quinn does not drink, but I do, so why not? I'm going to do an ounce of Midori, 1 ounce of coconut rum, an ounce of pineapple juice, a banana liqueur, and then a ½ ounce of heavy cream. Now I add ice to the shaker. Put it in the shaker. Shake a couple times to get the suction. Okay. Now we take it and strain it into the shot glass. A fun little spooky green shot. And if you happen to have it, you can top it with a Scooby snack. It's just a little graham cracker.
Yay! Very
Cheers.
cute. Cheers. What's your rating out of 5?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not out of 5, but...
Out of 5. Pretty good out of 5.
A pretty good would be like a 4-star.
Yeah. I think a
4-star. Okay. The ciabatta is in the oven. They're starting to rise. They are looking good. So we're going to prep the ingredients. We are going to be marinating some tofu. We have it pressed. I think this is extra firm tofu. We're going to slice it marinate it, and then fry it. You'll see later. Then we have roasted red peppers that we're gonna dice. We have 2 types of cheese. We got either pepper jack or provolone. We have some mayo. We're gonna make maybe garlic mayo, garlic paprika mayo. I don't know, whatever our sandwich gods deem appropriate. I have a tomato that I'm gonna slice. We have some lettuce, some spring mix, and then we have some alfalfa sprouts. We also have olives. So that's kind of the base. We'll see how it goes. We didn't really follow a recipe. We're just going with ingredients that sound good in the heart of Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and yeah. And here are the finished ciabatta buns. They look a little toasty, but I think that's just how they're supposed to look. They're supposed to look a little browner. I think they're showing up a little darker on the camera too. They seem to split on the bottom on a couple of them, on these two, but they still look pretty good, especially like these two. They look really good, like the bottoms. A little dusty. But yeah, so we let these rest for 45 minutes. Excuse the dishwasher in the background. We are making our drinks. My parents have these fun glasses that remind me of pineapple. And since the Scooby-Doo movie is like on an island, very tiki drink vibes, I thought that was very cute. I'm gonna be making, me and my brother, some non-algae drinks. We already had pretty much the green with the Scooby Snacks shot. And then my wife has this Sipsy Doozy book, and she'll be making this, which, like that, I guess on screen it doesn't, I mean, it'll be orange, right? Orange. These are my colors, okay? I have Glacier Freeze Gatorade, right? And a Mountain Dew. I think they'll taste good together. I don't know what color they'll be. I don't know what ratio to do. So we're just gonna go for it. We'll see what color it turns. That's getting there. See, now it feels like too green. I guess this blue is exactly this blue.
You're mixing the exact blue and the exact green together.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the non-alky Scooby-Doo drinks.
Okay. So, to your shaker, we're gonna add 1 ounce of funky rum. Just grab this from the liquor store. Not much of a rum drinker. Then we need 3/4 of an ounce of creme de banane. This fancy banana liqueur again. 1/2 an ounce of Campari, which if you haven't had before, it's just basically just bitter. Pineapple juice, orange juice, and grapefruit juice. So we need 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. 3/4 ounces of orange juice, which 1/2 ounce of grapefruit juice. And now we're gonna dry shake it. Put in some ice, and then we're gonna shake it again. Okay, break the seal, and we strain into a glass. Ta-da!
Yay! Much more of a peachy orange.
Yeah.
So our drink colors are a little off, but our heart's there. So yay! Now that our drinks are ready, we're gonna be assembling sandwiches.
Review time. How good out of 5?
Yep.
Much less fruity than I thought it would be.
Hmm.
It's very mellow.
Interesting.
Bitter notes from the Campari and grapefruit juice. I give it maybe I don't know, maybe I just really want fruity.
Yeah. You can rate it as low as you want.
I think a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Really good. Can't really taste the alcohol. Very smooth drinking. But I want it to taste more fruity.
And I forgot to review mine. Very tasty. I give it maybe a solid 3.5. It tastes like what you think it would taste like, because it's just Mountain Dew and Gatorade. But the flavors together work really well. Okay, we have all of our ingredients ready. It's time to assemble. Gotcha, Chibata. Da-da-da-da. There's some holes in it, but I think that looks good. It smells good. Definitely cooked, so that's also very good. So we got our bread. First layer on the bottom, mayo. Next we're doing a little sprinkling of pepper, and we have some Spanish Queen olives. Like I said, this is measuring with our Shaggy and Scooby hearts. I don't know if this will be good. Okay, next we're putting tofu. 2 tofu pieces. And then we're gonna put the cheese. Excuse the dishwasher. Next is lettuce. I think that's good. And then we got some alfalfa sprouts. Dense. There we go. Maybe I'll add a little bit to mine too. I've been convinced. Now tomatoes. And now onion. Okay, and I think that's it. Now we close it and then add the quintessential olive on top. There it is. I feel like that looks pretty good. That looks like an ultimate sandwich. And then you got this one. I'm gonna cut these in half to make them easier to eat. So maybe I'll just do the olive on one side. Da-da-da-da. Looking good. We finished the Scooby-Doo movie. It was still 10 out of 10, very good. The sandwiches were really good. The ciabatta loaves turned out really good. And then after the movie was over, we decided to go on a walk. That only turned out to be like 15 minutes because the mosquitoes were eating us alive. So now I am in bed, my favorite reading spot. And I'm going to continue into the Drowning Deep. Hopefully you get at least maybe 100 more pages in. That'd be nice. So I am done for the night. I reached page 156 and it's so spooky. I wasn't expecting being like spooked and like, you know, and I can't say anything because I feel like the rest is just spoilers. They got to the Mariana Trench and we got a couple more characters introduced. There's Olivia, and I don't remember the cameraman's name. Olivia's like the face of Imagine Studios. And we got introduced to Heather and Holly, who are twins, who are deaf. And then their sister, I think Hallie, the 3 H's, who is older than the twins and is their translator. But also all 3 of them are into sciencey stuff. The last chapter was just so spooky. I had to read it out loud to my wife because it was intense. And pretty much right at that 100-page mark, it got super interesting. So I'm glad that at least that first 100 pages was just setting the scene. It was a little slow, but now that I guess the spooky shit has started and like I guess more on the boat traversing information, it got really interesting. And now it was interesting and now it's super spooky and I think I'm up for it. It's great so far, especially with how spooky it is. That's about how far I am. I'll probably be sticking with this, continuing reading it tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm also gonna be sprinkling in the audiobook for My Heart is a Chainsaw throughout the next 5 days.
The door opened. All 3 of them jumped. The man in the doorway wasn't Theo Blackwell, who they would have known how to deal with. It wasn't even Jillian Toth, who could be capricious and unpredictable, but was at least familiar.
Hello, it is day 4 of Summerween. So I didn't give an update last night. It was too late. Stayed up with far too late reading this. As you could see from the last clip, I did move on to the audiobook for this. just because I think it was chapter 12 was so intense. I read it out loud to my wife, and then my wife was like, yeah, that's pretty good, and now we're buddy reading it. So I don't have much time. It's like 10-12 right now. I might read a few more chapters, about like maybe 30 minutes. I can't really, I guess, say much. I don't want to spoil much of this book. It kind of like was slow. We got all that character, like the first 100 pages, and then it got like intense, right? That chapter 12 around there got like that nice intensity, and then it kind of mellowed out again. And it was like a lot of like kind of explaining, people talking to each other. You can see like the small relationships are building and like the interactions between these characters that we've met before. And that was the next kind of chunk of 100 pages. And I think the last couple chapters, the intensity is kind of slowly building again. And now that we're about, I guess, 2/3 of the way through the book, now I think this last part is just gonna be them surviving. And so hopefully that kind of tension is gonna increase again. And hopefully we don't get too many more kind of lulls in the story.
Year 21. Western Pacific Ocean, above the Mariana Trench, September 2nd, 2022.
Hello. There has not been a lot of reading updates during this vlog. I have tomorrow, which hopefully I'll be able to read the shorter book, and then hopefully binge My Heart is a Chainsaw all night Friday to get my 3 books read that I wanted to. Right now, we are making snacks. Again, we are making dirt in a cup. Spooky. Welcome to Friday, the last day of Summerween. And I have still not finished a book. I think I have an hour, 40 minutes left of Into the Drowning Deep. Pretty close on finishing it. It's not going to focus, but you can see. And I'm planning on reading Nothing But the Rain. It should take me like 2 hours. I think it's like 100 pages. This one is a for sure read today. Now, I do also have My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I had on my Summerween TBR last year and didn't end up reading it. And I have it this year and I still didn't read it. And I'm really hoping that I am gonna be able to just binge the audiobook tonight and finish it. I think I kind of screwed myself over just a little bit, not starting more reading on the weekend. I thought I would be able to just kind of like sprinkle the books through this week, but my weeks are busy. I feel like I think I have so much time to read and then I end up not having that time. I'll know for next time. So, an hour and a half later, and I finished the book. It was fairly quick read. We're following Laverne, and in this, I guess, dystopian future, the rain makes you lose your memory. And it makes your most recent memories disappear. So, like, the more you go into rain, the further back your memory disappears. So, she still remembers some things. This chemical rain showed up all of a sudden, and people didn't really know what was going on. It was almost too late for some people when this happened. So there's a lot of memories she's missing. And at first you're just following her like day to day. And she decides instead of writing on walls, she'll write in a journal. There's like one journal in her ex-husband's office that she found. And so she's writing in it. So if she does get into the rain or something happens, she can look back and remember. I won't say anything about the ending, but I enjoyed how this ended. I really liked how this ended. And yeah, it was, little book, fun, dystopian, spooky. I think I'm going to give this maybe a 3-star, a 3.5 star. So this one counts for prompt 5, read a novella. But yeah, so 1 book down. All right. Try 2. So we're making this. And the first recipe we followed was entirely going to be set up for failure. We'll see how this turns out. I have about a cup of vanilla and a cup of chocolate pudding. And then I have Cool Whip, which I'm going to be just dividing in half. Half of this will go in the vanilla, half of it will go into the chocolate. And the pudding part would be done. And then we have these little cups. And then we're just gonna layer it with the pudding Cool Whip mixture and the crushed Oreos. And then put a little gummy worm on top. got our little dirt in the cups. See, little worms, they're very cute. And now we eat. So I realized I never ended this vlog. Friday, things didn't go to plan. I wasn't able to read more. So technically, I didn't finish this during Summerween, but I'm giving myself grace. It's supposed to be fun. And I finished this Sunday, giving it a 3.5. So I ended up reading these 2 books for Summerween. Though I did do extra spooky stuff with the ScoobyDoo movie party and the dirt cup treat. So still did spooky Summerween stuff. I think I did get 3 out of the 5 prompts finished, so I still think that's a success. Hopefully you had a great Summerween if you participated. I sure did. As always, this is Quinn, signing out.